Well, hello class, Prof. Jay here again. I'm going to do a short video on research methodology. I think it's a good time at the beginning of the class to go ahead and, work on your final paper and start step by step. And maybe the first step would be to look into the methodology involved. So what I'm going to do now is go to share screen, and we'll share the desktop screen. And I'm going to look here at the actual discussion question that we're going to have. And this is, I believe, in I think week 2 of the class. And let's take a look. Here we are under the orientation, and I did a video on that. We'll move on to the next part here, which is week 1 overview. And you'll notice with week 1, you'll complete the orientation and you watch the video on beginning of legal research. You'll post your introduction to class and post on beginning of legal research, which is a nice 29-minute video from a law prof on beginning your legal research. And that's the end. That will be your discussion for week 1. Will be completing the orientation, and beginning legal research will be a discussion topic that you'll do. And then we're going to move on to, and there's the discussion for beginning legal research. Then we're going to move on to our week 2 overview, and you'll notice you'll read the textbook, Introduction to Legal Research, Primary and Secondary Legal Resources, and then number 1 and 2, you're going to discuss California legal primary resources and federal legal primary sources. And then you're going to post your discussion to research methodology, which is the short video I want to do for today. And on this research methodology, you'll notice that there's information here on what you primarily do and begin to do is you start your preliminary analysis by finding some of your cases or information. You'll analyze the facts, and then when you do your thesis is really framing the legal question that you're going to answer in your paper. So here are the objectives under A. First, when you look into any new topic or new area of the law, you're going to need to know the jargon, including the black letter law. The jargon are terms and words of art, so to speak, that are involved in any particular area of the law. Then after you learn the jargon and the black letter law, then you're going to identify issues which are going to be answered through your research, and maybe issues which need further analysis after your research, or issues that cannot be totally resolved. And then after you have learned the jargon and the black letter law and identified the issues, then you identify the factual elements that are involved. For each particular case or situation or topic that you're going to cover, you look into the who, what, where, and why. For example, what is the thing or the act involved? Because usually the case, in every case that you'll read, you'll notice that there's some sort of thing or act that's involved, that's discussed by the court. Then there's persons that are involved, types of persons, and places potentially that are involved. For example, search and seizure many times focuses on where the search occurred, which would be the place. Then for the factual elements what a good thing to do is to list all the words that describe the particular fact from the most general to the specific. This will help you in doing your secondary research with secondary sources. For example, if you're looking at information, you have a topic and you're looking at a store that may be too general, then you expand your research to property, private property, private commercial property. For example, if you're doing it on slip and fall, one of the areas of the law in the indexes is not under slip and fall, but under premise liability. So now that you have identified the issues, you've learned the black letter law and the jargon, and discussed or identified the factual elements of the thing, the person, the act, and the place, then you go to identifying the legal elements. So what is the relief that is being sought? Is it injunction? Is it damages? Many times cases discuss quite a lot at the beginning of the case on the procedure elements, even before they get to discussion of the actual legal elements or legal theories. They discuss how the case got to the court and how it is going to be resolved. And then finally look at the legal theories and consult your secondary resources, which include dictionaries, encyclopedias, treatises, law reviews. And then, well, after you've done all of this particular analysis and research, just decide what is the core legal theory that you're developing from the facts and legal theories, and then locate the primary authority, which is the cases and the codes that you're going to use to support your thesis and your argument. Remember, this is an argumentative thesis, not just an opinion about a social science. Like, for example, one would be, is it fair to put people to death? Would be more of a social science as opposed to analyzing the current status of death penalties. Would be much more of a legal research paper. So after you have core legal theory, then locate your controlling or mandatory authority. In other words, what are the outstanding cases that rule or govern your particular area? Look into secondary sources, potentially regulations, digests, and any online sources to back you up. And remember, one of the most important things here is going to be your own language, and not just copying and pasting. So one of the things that I'll be doing when you brief your cases, I might send you back an email that will say, please resubmit and use your own legal language and don't copy from the case. So please, during the course of this class in legal research, paraphrase, take the legal language, and you can copy certain words from it, but don't copy entire paragraphs. Read over the paragraphs and then synthesize and put it in your own words. Well, that is now the end of our research methodology video. Any questions or confusions, feel free to either call or email me. Good luck and enjoy the class.